Greg Wade. This is my wife, Jera.
Started attending around the 2003, 2004 mark.
We started attending Christ Apostolic Church on the corner of Lincoln and Adams in 1963.
The first service that I attended at Christ Apostolic Church that I remember was Easter 2010.
I started attending Christ Apostolic Church May of 1952.
I started attending in 1964.
The Lord spoke to me and said, "This is what you're looking for. Never leave it."
Probably the first thing come connection is that I was baptized twice. My mother, she was getting ready to have me when they come to Michigan, and then she got in church and got baptized and before I was born. And so that was my initial point. And then when I turned 13, down at Rufus Park campground down at Hillsdale is when I first received the Holy Ghost. They're getting ready to, there was a tornado hitting on the south side of the Hillsdale Lake, and we all got put in our cabin, and I told the Lord if he'd save us through that tornado and didn't touch the campground, that I would give my life to him. That's where it started.
Well, I'm third generation apostolic, so I teethed on the back of an apostolic pew. I was born into this, and through a series of events, I met this wonderful woman and married her.
I was brought up a Catholic, and so we just went to church once a week, and that was our story. You know, we went once a week, and that was church. But I never experienced it until I actually came to an apostolic church. I didn't know there was anything different. So through there was many avenues that took place in order for us to even start coming to the church here. But one of the main events that happened was we had some ladies that canvassed in our neighborhood that was from this church. And the ladies came, and my mom opened the doors for them to come and talk about the Lord. And they began telling her scriptures and about salvation. And my mom had many questions because Catholics did things a certain way, but she wanted to know more. And they were answering questions. She goes, "I believe that." And so with those series of events, we were able to come to the church. And my very first service was quite an experience. I had no idea that how the power of God would come down. People were crying, and there was a man named Bud Hunt who would shout up and down the aisle with one hand behind his back. And I thought, this place is crazy.
I grew up in a Christian household for the most part. We were the type of Christians who, you know, we prayed in our home, we had Bibles in our home, but we didn't attend church routinely. You know, we were the type where we would go on Easter or we would go on Christmas, but it wasn't a part of what we did on a weekly basis. And so my family had moved here from California, and we were going through a lot of transitions, a lot of changes in all of our lives as individuals and as a family. And when we arrived in Michigan, my mom decided that it was time for us to not only call ourselves Christians, but it was time to go to church, and it was time to be a part of a church. And so what my mom decided she was going to do was she was going to crack open the phone book. And she decided that she was going to pick out a church that she felt was right in her spirit. And so that's what she did. She opened up the yellow pages, which shows I've been going here for a little while now. We were still using the yellow pages then. And she found Christ Apostolic Church. She decided that's where we were going to come. And that's where my story begins.
The family always came here, so that was always my connection. Back when I was first born, I was 2 weeks old.
When I was 9, I prayed and said, "Lord, if you're real, if you're God, don't come before I find you." 3 years later, we were attending another church in this town my mom started going, and At that time, they had altar calls and prayed with people, and my mom got stammering lips. And they stopped her and told her, okay, you're saved now, let's get baptized. My mom said no. So we went home, and she said, Buster, get ready. We're going to church tonight. And he said, I ain't going out there. And the next thing I know, she said, no, we're going to Lincoln and Adams. At that time, I was 12 years old. So we went out for service at night. My dad went to the altar. My mom went to the altar. My dad laid his cigars on the altar. Now, mind you, he had been a chain smoker since he was 8. He laid them on the altar, and I knew then something was changing.
I went to a lot of different denominational churches, and I did not find what I was looking for right here in Albion. And so I started praying. I said, Lord, I know that you're God, and I know that you hear me. But I want to know for myself. I don't want somebody to tell me, because it don't last when that happens. And it never lasted. And once that the Lord led me to the church, and Brother Starr, Pastor Starr, my sisters in the church were praying for me. And God answered that prayer. He brought me to the church.
And as I was praying with my dad, because I had attended Sunday school in every city, every church just about in the city, the Lord spoke to me and said, this is what you're looking for. Never leave it. And I immediately remembered my 9-year-old prayer. I've never left. I don't ever intend to.
Well, after we got married, about a year, we decided we wanted to have children, and turned out we couldn't. And for the next 3 years, we went to see every doctor, infertility specialists, praying and praying and praying for God to give us a child. And then on a particular service in September of 1988, Brother Trammell called us to the front. We had a special speaker that night. Brother George Pace from Kalamazoo was speaking. And him and Brother Trammell anointed us with oil and prayed over us to have a child. And I believe we were healed that day. 1 year later, September 21st, 1989, we held our little girl, Erin Jael, in our arms. And so that was an incredible thing, what the Lord did for us.
A lot has happened in my life since coming into the church. I was a 16-year-old young man who was troubled, who was uprooted from his life in California, brought to a new state with no friends, and what seemingly felt like what was the end of my life. I was desperate for something. I was hurting. I was broken. And that's the season where God found me. When I needed him the most, that's where he found me, a junior in high school.
I started seeking the Lord then, and said, if you're real, if you really want me to serve you, if all this stuff I was raised in is the right way, and you're real, basically, open up a door for me to leave this area, to leave Albion, get away from all this just for a time. Or really, I was open for whatever, but he opened that door. There was a place that my aunt knew about in Missouri, and it was a boys' home / rehab, and I called them, and I told them my situation, and they said, well, you know what? Your situation really isn't even what we're looking for, or you don't even really qualify for it, but we're going to take you. He said, we're going to do this, and I knew immediately. And so it was 4/19 of 2001 that I left Albion. And if you can only imagine, I don't know if this is cool to say, but 4/20 that's the potheads holiday. And I imagine maybe something horrible would have happened, but the Lord decided to bring me out 4/19/2001, and then ever since then, he's had his hand on my life. I went there, and I remember when the Lord broke the chains. I really gave, it was actually a Pentecostal Assemblies of God type thing, program they had, and gave my life to God.
And the day that I wanted to tell you about was really amazing to me. It was the morning I got baptized. I didn't understand it, but I knew that the Lord was speaking to me, because I was sitting there, and they were singing that song, Does Jesus Care? And it's a beautiful hymn. And the Lord spoke to my mind, and he said, I care. but you don't know me. And I got up. I said to my sister, God is talking to me. She said, you need to go to the altar. And I went to the altar that morning and I began praying. But then, you know how Satan does sometimes. He comes to you and he told me, you know, people are laughing at you because you're up here crying and things. And I stopped. And when I did, it was just like something black shield had come down in front of me and I couldn't see the brightness anymore. And I cried out to the Lord. And when I did, he lifted it. And I began to pray and I repented. And Sister Starr sat down with the Bible and showed me the scriptures of what was happening and what I needed to do. And so I got baptized. And when I come up out of that water, I don't know, it might seem strange to some people, but when Brother Starr lowered me into that water, I went in the center. But when I came out and I stood up, I felt something go from my feet. It seemed like it just went creeping up my, and when I threw my hands in the air, it just, like I was a new person. It felt like I had been born, which I didn't understand it, but I had been born again of the Spirit of God.
I think one of the main things that I experienced with God first, right off the bat, was a new peace that I had never really experienced before. A new joy coming upon me, a newness in life, where we talk about becoming a new creature. And that was truly what I was experiencing at that point in time, is when I came to find God, that I truly did become a new creature. And one of the main things that I found in addition to that was purpose for my life. I definitely felt like I didn't really know what the future held for me. And I knew I wanted to make something of myself, but I didn't know what exactly that was. And I did struggle with a lot of fear for the future and what was to come. It was a lot of uncertainty. And I found purpose in Christ. I found my purpose in the church. I found my purpose in ministry. And so that is one of the main things that I would say that God really did for me when I found him, or when he found me, was he gave me a new purpose for life.
It's my home. I'd rather be there than anywhere, even my own home. And I just, when I get into the house of God, I don't feel the same as I do when I'm outside, because there's a presence of his presence there with his people.
Man, it means the world to me. We've made our life here in Albion since '87. I wouldn't have it any other way. I come here for, spiritual strength, to be fed, to give, to work with people, help in any way we can. My wife and I are both musicians for the church, and so we've given in that respect over the years. And we just love being here. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
The church means a lot to me. It means a lot to my family. It's a foundation for my life. Christ Apostolic Church has truly changed the trajectory of my life. I believe if it wasn't for this church, I would be somewhere very lost. And so it means a lot to me. I know that if Christ Apostolic Church is here, that I can come to this place, I can find a friend, I can find someone who will pray with me, I can find godly people who have my best interest in mind and who just want to help me find God and serve God to the best of my ability.
Oh man, it means everything to me. It's been such an atmosphere here for years. It's been a consistent atmosphere of truth and love and mercy, and such great leadership at this church. It's poured into myself and my family over the years, and we are truly products of the great love and support at CAC here, and we're so thankful for this church. It just means everything to us. Without the church, I would not be here. I would not be here, and of course the prayers of my mom and intercessions from her. And thank God for CAC.
It means life. It means hope. It means courage. It means strength. It means family. It means the purpose. It gives me purpose. And it's just my life.
I was born into the Albion Church, and I was going for 5 years when I was born. And my dad just believed in the whole family being a part of the church. And so from the time I was little, we were just always incorporated in church work. I remember playing out on the front lawns of the church, and my mom and dad were inside preparing for church, and the ladies, we had a special prayer meeting upstairs that the women would go pray in, and the ladies of the church would say, "Come on, Rebecca, it's time to go to the prayer room." And so I just followed them to the prayer room. So they'd get all the kids gathered out from the front yard that were playing, made us go upstairs, and we'd pray through every Sunday night. That's kept a lot of us.
I came to Christ Apostolic Church my first time would have been about 1973, before Rebecca and I got married. And we were married at Christ Apostolic Church, August the 24th, 1974. I had been, I should say, evangelizing some. And then after that, we started evangelizing for about 5 years. And then we took a church in Festus, Missouri, and was there 5 years. And then we evangelized about 16 more months. And then in 1987, the untimely passing of Brother Starr is when we were asked to come and pastor the church. I was only 32 years old, and Brother Starr had passed away at 62. And so it was a daunting task. Brother Starr was bigger than life. He was the superintendent here in Michigan. He was pastor of the church. He was a judge of the License Appeal Board here in this area in Michigan. And so I took over as a young man, but the church was good to us. God was good to us. Well, I think the most exciting thing is the church is growing, and that we do have plans. We have property that's paid for on I-94 out here, and we have plans to build a new church there, and that's a very exciting thing to me. I believe we're going to be able to do that. God has given us a favor in many areas, and so we're thankful for that.
Seeing souls saved, seeing this place grow to the point where we just can't stay in this building, and that we know that we are going to build at some point. I just pray that that happens, soon, and that it's out of something we have to do. We just can't contain the people. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I know there are more Jared Mays out there that need to hear what I have to say, and I'm excited to see them come. I'm excited to see them part of the harvest and the revival that God has in store for this church and this area. And I'm glad that we have so much destiny and prophetic destiny hovering over us. It's very easy to take the vision that God gives through the leadership here. It's very easy to grab it and run with it. And that's what has, that's what I'm the most excited about, is to see God's will be done in this region, in the city, this region. I'm just excited about it.
What I'm also excited for is that I'm starting to see the generation behind me, and even the generation behind that one, come into greater desire and greater strength, greater caring, greater learning of the Lord, and desiring for the greater things of God than just status quo of walking in and enjoying service and leaving. They're growing, the integrity of God, the strength of God. And I want to see that continue on, not just die off. We're a lighthouse to the city, and we need to hold on to our heritage. And I'm looking forward to that part of the church growing even greater and deeper than ever before.
It's been prophesied that Christ Apostolic Church will be an epicenter of revival, that something big is coming, and it's going to start here. And I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the revival. I'm excited to see people come in and experience God, the God who changed my life and completely changed everything for me. And I'm excited for people to have that same experience like I did.
About 97, we built the new auditorium that we still have today. And that seems impossible. We'll be getting close to 30 years that building was built. But it was just God's help. We really had one goal, and that was to see souls saved. But one of our main goals was to give to global missions. And we began to give to. I thought that I was going to go as a missionary about 10 years after I came to the church. But I felt like the Lord told me, he said, bless every missionary you can bless. And and I will bless you. And so that's exactly what happened. God began to bless the church, and so we thank God for that. Now, I'm thankful that my son-in-law, Brother Terry Irwin, is now the pastor, and my daughter, Farah, and their two sons, Cole and Clark. Of course, we raised Marcus and Farah up in Christ Apostolic Church, and all the saints of God loved our children. We're so thankful for that today.
Christ Apostolic Church has a high respect for the ministry. They really love the Lord, and they're sincere people, and you can see it through the years because I was expecting to come back. I grew up in the church, come back as pastor's wife, and they treated me with so much respect. And then now to see my daughter there, and they treat her with so much respect. And all my sisters love coming back every year. All they have is great memories because the church people have loved us all as the kids of the pastor and treat us with so much respect. And you just appreciate their sincere love for God and other people.